Good day, you absolute legends. Have you ever wanted to see what No Man's Sky would look like as if it was in Cyberpunk? I mean, I love the Cyberpunk theme, so I've downloaded a mod today that lets you change the colors of the Anomaly to this, and it looks absolutely incredible. Now, this is a massive game changer, and I honestly wish we had more flexibility when it comes to like changing the colors to how things look in No Man's Sky to suit your own preferences, and this mod essentially allows you to do that. Now, normally I don't showcase mods on this channel just because there's so many of them, and I do only reserve it for very special mods, like for example rerunning expeditions, especially from like the very first one to so on. So this mod definitely caught my eye because it changed it in such a unique way that my mind was actually blown that they was able to do this. And I can see a future for No Man's Sky, especially if you're on console, because obviously if you're on console, at the moment, there is no mod support at all. You can't just download a mod, install it, and be on your way. Not like games like, you know, Oblivion had mod support, or Skyrim had mod support. I believe it was all two games anyway. Don't quote me on that. However, if Hello Games introduced something similar where essentially no matter if you're on PC or if you're on console, whether you're on Xbox or PlayStation, there would be some sort of support there where baked into the game you could download pre-approved mods and then give them a try out on your console. I would love to see that happen because at the end of the day, if mods could get properly approved on console, it would be a total game changer. So what would be the benefits of mods? Well, in my opinion, I believe that mods could definitely extend the range and the lifetime of No Man's Sky quite dramatically, because as long as there's an active community making mods, and it's not just for visual purposes. I mean, mods, as you know, can have dramatic implications for just about any aspect of the game, from rerunning expeditions to adding in new eye candy, new visuals, new gameplay mechanics, building materials. I mean, the list is endless, and that's the whole point. If you could have mod support in No Man's Sky, then you can change the game and add in new features constantly and really keep on that gameplay experience. And I believe that would be a brilliant direction for Hello Games to go. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that every single mod out there that ever gets made has to be instantly approved, but, you know, just select ones. Now, with No Man's Sky quite rapidly approaching its 10th birthday, a decade old. Now, obviously, we just celebrated year 8 of No Man's Sky, but only 2 more years and it'll be a decade old at this point. I mean, how cool will it be if Hello Games essentially released its tools that they use to the public, so then it can be then further developed from there? I think that would absolutely explode the game's possibilities dramatically. I believe then there will be a lot more different kinds of mods than what even very capable and talented modders are currently able to do with the limited resources and tools that they do still have. And a perfect example of this is Grand Theft Auto 5. Now hear me out. Now Grand Theft Auto 5 for the longest time was very hard on modders. They didn't allow modders really to mess about with the games too much, and then they kind of eased up on it, and over time they actually started to release the tools. And now, for example, in GTA 5 you have servers that are completely customized, where they have role-playing servers, they have all sorts of different scenarios that you can play. Now I can again envision a future like that for No Man's Sky, having dedicated mods for certain things, whether it be complete and utter role-playing scenarios, or maybe even going into something as crazy as PvE or PvP scenarios, you know, last man standing sort of things, or games where they could have like capture the flag or something amazing like that. I mean, it really would just open up the possibilities tenfold on what this is currently capable of doing. And like I said, it's an exciting thing to think about. Now, whether or not, obviously, Hello Games would ever even entertain the idea is another story entirely. And ultimately, it is their decision. It is their game. So I want to ask you, the audience, if you could like change the game in any way with the mod, then what would you want included? I mean, personally, I could see like an arena style scenario where you're facing enemies, like a PvE style thing, or maybe even a PvP style thing, and there's maybe like charts and leaderboards, and you got to go through like waves of enemies, and the higher the wave, the higher the difficulty, and it's kind of like a leaderboard to see how like far anybody can get. I feel like that would be awesome, and we have seen games touch upon that in things like Fable, where they had like a Coliseum and you go through different waves. And I know that's Fable is like a very old game. Or another example would be Call of Duty Zombies, you know, that's still going on as a franchise right now, where, you know, you defeat each zombie wave, and the higher the level, the harder the zombies, but the higher the level is going on to the leaderboards, and so on. You just make it until basically you drop. I feel like something like that would be absolutely incredible. And touching upon, like, you know, Call of Duty Zombies, I'm not saying Call of Duty or anything, because, you know, this is No Man's Sky at the end of the day, two completely different games. But what if there was a zombie mod? You know, like, you know, imagine an entire world filled with the undead zombies and just different things like that. I mean, you could literally do anything, and that's the whole point of this video. If they could release the tools or the application to do so, it would give essentially modders free reign to do anything, and then they could hopefully mod it where then even Xbox and PlayStation can take full advantage, as we've already spoken about. And yeah, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, these are just the things that I love to dream about for No Man's Sky. I love to think about these. I love to brainstorm this kind of idea. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think this is a good idea? Let me know what you would do with it. Let me know how you feel about mods in general for No Man's Sky. Do you believe that mods in No Man's Sky could be the future of the game? Or do you really just like the vanilla experience as it was intended by the developers? Completely and utterly vanilla PC, that's it, done. Are you on that side, or are you on the side of modding? Now, before we do end off here, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of my recent Patreon members. It's amazing to see so much support coming to the channel, and again, thank you very much from the very bottom of my heart. Now today, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go down that route as well and support me over on Patreon, you totally can do. You're not obliged to, but you can do. Link in the video description down below. It starts off as a free tier, so it's a free trial. You can do that, and you don't have to keep it past that point if you don't want to. However, you want to continue supporting the channel, then you can do buy additional tiers after that, and anything that I do receive from Patreon goes right back into the channel. It just helps with things like maintenance for the PC side of things, buying new editing software, that kind of thing. But yeah, if you do want to support me down that route as well, you can do. Link in the video description down below for my Patreon. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's everything from me here today, and as always, my name is Professor Cynical, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Bye for now.